Well, she's a mother, an entrepreneur, a children's book author, and now Miss Idaho for America Strong 2025. We're joined today by Nara Lee, who is using her platform to spread a message of kindness and community pride. From publishing a trilingual children's book to hosting a free cultural festival right here in Boise, she's truly inspiring. So a big warm welcome to Nara Lee. Thank you so much for being here. And first of all, a big congratulations to you. Tell us about the title, Miss Idaho America Strong. What made you want to obtain this title? Why is it so important to you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, first of all. It's important to be a state representative as Miss Idaho because I wanted to talk about my platform of cultural diversity and education. And that just spoke really to my heart because of my kid and the way that he will grow up in our community.
Okay, so you're using this as a platform.
Yes.
A kind of a megaphone, if you will.
Yes.
To get out some awareness, and you had said education. Tell us about the platform that you've built. I understand kindness, diversity, and culture behind this, the education. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so I was inspired by Jordan, my 3-year-old son. And as a Korean American mom, I know that how I grew up in the States, there were some difficulties of being accepted and be welcomed. And so I wanted to kind of start as a leader to allow kids to understand different cultures and be welcoming and be more inclusive. And so that's what kind of started my platform of cultural diversity, and education kind of followed with it, because how do we learn about one another if we don't have the resources to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love how you're taking this personal experience of your own and trying to, to improve the future for your son and for others.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
It's not just for Jordan, it's for all the children to feel included. And no matter what our skin color is or what kind of cultures or traditions we celebrate, we should all be really welcoming and just be leading each other with kindness. And I think that allows a beautiful community to blossom.
Absolutely. Tell us about your children's book. What inspired you to write that?
Yeah. Once again, Jordan,
yes.
I wanted to teach him mannerisms and etiquettes that are different between cultures that he's growing up with. He's half Taiwanese and half Korean, and obviously American. And so how do we instill in him as a parent or as an educator to our kids to learn different languages and the cultures that come with it? For example, in Korean, before we eat, we say 잘 먹겠습니다, which means thank you for the food. And so I wanted to teach that to Jordan, and it's so hard when we don't have that resource. And so instead of using a Sharpie to translate everything, I decided to just write my own book, and different parents and educators really wanted that resource as well.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So others are utilizing the book that you wrote.
Yes.
Lovely.
I'm so grateful.
Yes. Okay. Well, in addition to the platform, the education, the book, you're also helping share this information through a festival. Tell us about your festival.
Yes. So We Are Idaho Festival is obviously heavily drawn from my platform of culture, diversity, and education. But I started a video series called We Are Idaho, and that's where I got the name from. And I started to go around our community members and talking about different traditions they might celebrate or cultures or what makes Idaho so special to them. And I wanted to share that story with other community members as well so that we can be learning from one another and just understand each other. And I thought that I would just bring that to life through an event.
I love that. Okay, this is July 19th, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's coming up. Where, when, how do people go?
Yeah, it's at Amelie's. It was previously known as Country Bay Bistro. They're our sponsors. And we will be hosting it there from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The event is free for all families, friends, neighbors to enjoy, for us to experience different performances from different cultures. And yeah, it's just going to be so much fun. We have a bounce house, we have Dole Whip, and we have baby goats. And I like to call it like our little mini Disneyland in Boise. So I hope everyone can come and enjoy it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so what's next for you?
Yeah, after Miss Idaho title, I am, fingers crossed, hoping that at national stage I'll be able to take my platform and talk about it as Miss America. But after that, I would hope to start my own businesses. And that's what's on my next docket.
Wonderful. Okay, so how do people find you so they can learn more about your book, attend the festival?
Absolutely.
And just be a part of this great platform that you've built?
Yes, I have 2 Instagram accounts. One is Miss Nara Lee _official, and that's more of a personal account for me where I share more than what my projects are, but my personal life and the journey behind it. And Miss Idaho for America is the official account where I'll be talking majority of my pageant journey.
Wonderful, because I imagine some people might want to book you too, maybe come to some schools.
Yes.
Have a little extra conversation, and maybe keep up with some other appearances you have out in the public as the summer continues.
Yes.
All right, when's the national stage, really quick?
August 25th, that's coming up real soon.
All right, so July 19th, go to your festival, August 25th. Make sure we're cheering you on. Thank you so much, Nara Lee. Congratulations. All right, everyone, stick around because we're going to be sticking with the theme of helping out moms. This week's Mom Matters is next.